Nithyananda, a warm welcome to the Nithyananda yoga class today. Please settle down on your mats, sit in a cross-legged position, your head, neck and spine in a straight line. And you can take a deep breath, close your eyes, place your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of the heart. Then we start with invoking Swamiji's presence with the Satguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Yanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Satrisham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami. And then we continue chanting 11 times the Shiva Mula mantra. Om Ham Ham Shivaya Namaha. 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 And with that, we go on to the ritualistic cleansing. So take your Panchapatram and Udarini, the cup with water and spoon. Now bring your hand in the Gokarna Mudra, that means the index finger bent, and then place it with the palm upwards. Take an Udarini of water in your hand and sip it from the base of the hand along with the mantra Svada. Atma Tattvam Shauriyami Svada. And take another Udarini of water. Vidya Tattvam Shauriyami Svada. And another Udarini of water. Shiva Tattvam Shauriyami Svada. And cleanse the hands. Now with the base of the thumb, wipe over the lips from the right to the left twice along with the mantra. Om Hridayaya Namaha. Cleanse your hands. With the index finger, middle finger and ring finger, touch your upper lip and lower lip and cleanse your hands. With the ring finger, with the index finger and thumb together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. And with the ring finger and thumb together, touch your right eye, right ear, left ear. Clench your hands. And with the little finger and thumb together, using the whole base of the hand, touch the navel center, right chest, left chest. And place now all your fingers together. Touch your crown, your right shoulder, left shoulder, and the heart center. Now clasp your hands together, rest them on your right thigh. Then we're going to chant the Sankalpa mantra together. And Sankalpa means making a strong resolution of what you decide to manifest. So you can close your eyes, visualize that what you decide to manifest is happening right now. Let's take a deep breath. Om Mamopata Samasta Duritakshayattvara Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartam Sri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Sri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Prityartam Cha Adya Purvokta Evam Guna Visheshena Vishishtayam Asyam Shubhadito Purana Arogya Yukta Dridagatra Yogika Sharira Siddhyartam Paramashiva Shakti Avishkaranartam
Nithyananda Yoga Bhyasam Karishe.
Om Apaupasprisha. Now clench your hand the last time. And then place your Panchapatram somewhere safely on the side where you cannot accidentally tip it over or hurt yourself during the class. All the instructions given during the yoga are meant for the purpose of education and general well-being. It's not meant as a medical examination or medical treatment or medical advice. If you have any injury or disease or condition, or if you are pregnant, then consult your medical doctor before practicing yoga. For all of us here joining online in Zoom and online in the social media, please listen to your body, performing the asanas within your capacity. If that means you have to adjust certain asanas, I will be guiding you through different levels of it so that you can see how you can adjust it to your capacity. So with having that said, let's start with the first asanas. The first asana is sitting in a cross-legged position. The hands on the knees. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. The head, neck and spine in a straight line. Inhale deeply, visualizing heat rising up along the spine. Maintain awareness of the heat in the navel center and hold the breath as long as comfortable. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze up to the third eye. And during all the asanas, we keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. You don't need to chant that out loud. You can just have it rotating in the throat center. And in this posture, visualize Goddess Savitri, radiant and steadfast, illuminating awareness with the brilliance of the sun in Savitri Asana.
Chadato Chadato Mahurata Ekasadai Trishtikau Trikuti Asana Kauguna Pavanadharana Sahita Sadetu Viraji Badahoyi.
And in the same asana, inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine. Maintain awareness of the heat in the navel center and hold the breath as long as comfortable. Then we're contracting the pelvic floor in the Mula Bandha and we draw the abdomen inward toward the spine in the Uddiyana Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself as the indestructible weapon of Indra, sharp, unwavering, and unstoppable in Vajrasana Chatur.
Savyena Kandam Prapidya Cha Anyam Padam Tulingopari Nikshipet Vajram Sada Pranajaye Cha Siddham Rivatanu Mashtaka Samastashashtam.
And remain seated in the cross-legged position with the hands on the knees. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Inhale deeply, visualizing heat rising up along the spine. Maintain awareness of the heat at the navel center and hold the breath as long as comfortable. Now we're gonna close all the three bandhas. That means contract the pelvic floor, draw the abdomen inward and up, and place the chin to the chest. Having all the three bandhas engaged is called as Mahamudra Bandha. Gaze up at the third eye. Visualize yourself as a Siddha Yoga master, calm, radiant, and fully realized. In Siddhasana Trini.
Ata Basamana Prayogya Ata Siddhasanam Yogi Stana Kama Dhimole Gatitam Sampidya Gulpetaram Medorapi Ata Savidhat Shibukam Kritva Hridi Stapitam.
And now place one foot on the opposite thigh. Clasp your hands together and place them on the other thigh, on the other knee. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine. Maintain awareness of the digestive fire at the navel center and hold the breath as long as comfortable. Keep all the three bandhas engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, the abdomen inward, and the chin to the chest. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize Lord Brahma in your inner space, seated upon the lotus of creation in Brahmasana.
पद्मं ब्राह्मं सिद्धासनं स्वस्तिकं वज्रासनं भद्रकोणं भद्रपीठं मूलबन्धं तथैव च.
And in the next posture, we sit in a cross-legged position with the hands on the knees. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Place your shoulders away from the ears. Relax them. Inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine and maintain awareness of the digestive fire at the navel center while you hold the breath as long as comfortable. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight. Continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham and visualize your soul liberated by the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, ascending beyond all corporeal constraints. In Muktasana 2.
मुक्तासने स्थितो योगी मुद्रां सन्धाय सम्भविं शृणुयात् यदाशिने कर्णे नादमन्तस्तमेकधीः.
And place the hands open, the index fingers and thumb together in the Bindu Mudra on your knees. Inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine. Maintain awareness of the digestive fire at the navel center while you hold the breath as long as comfortable. Firmly contract the muscles of the pelvic floor in the Mula Bandha. Gaze up at the third eye. Visualize yourself sitting so still and unmoving that an anthill begins to form around you, embodying the deep transformation of sage Valmika, author of the Ramayana, in Valmika Asana 2.
भगतली वागोर धरती लगावे दो गोदा परिराखे दृष्टि त्रिकुटी आसन कौ गुण पाग कौ सोजो जाई.
Now place the foot flat on the mat, the knees up. Place the feet hip width apart. Fold the forward treading arms between the shins, clasping near your lower belly. The hands in Parusha Mudra, the fingers interlaced. Sink hips sitting deep, balancing weight evenly. Keep the chest broad and the spine upright. Breathe steady. Perform in this asana the Jivachala Kumbhaka. Inhale prana and use the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body, moving both in upward and downward directions. This is the Jivachala Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight. Continue internally. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize Goraknath within your inner space, radiant with tapas and unshakable wisdom. In Goraka Janjali Asana.
प्रथम ही ऊबै होय बहुरी नीच पूनी होवै दो कर दो जंगमदी नीकी विधि पहुंचे.
Now bring your hips from the mat, squat low, bending the knees, thread the arms through the thighs, reaching back and clasp behind the buttocks. Lift the chest broad, the spine upright, balanced, gaze soft forward, breathe smooth. The hands are in Parusha Mudra if you can reach. Inhale prana, using the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body, moving both in upward and downward directions. In the Jiva Chalaka Kumbhaka, keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, gaze straight. Visualize yourself in the specially chosen posture, embodying deliberate focus and refined awareness. In Kancha Kanchasana.
ऊरुमध्यात् हस्तौ निवेश नितम्बं धृत्वा पादतलाभ्यां भूमिम् अवस्तभ्य तिष्ठेत् कञ्चि भवति.
And now get your arms forward inside your knees and fold them around your the arms reach back, clasping firmly behind the sacrum. The spine upright, the chest lifted, the gaze directed softly to the navel, the shoulders broad, breath calm, the hands in Parusha Mudra if you can reach. Perform the Jivachalaka Kumbhaka. Inhale the prana and use the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body, moving in upward and downward directions. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize Lord Kalabhairava within your inner space, radiating eternal vigilance and fearlessness in Bhairuvasana.
दौ की तल्या की माहिली कौर मिले पानी उकदु मधु वैसे धन्यो एरि योनिस्तान रासे दौ हाथ पिच्छि पाचे आनी ककासी करिकाती पकादिरासे दृष्टिनाभिरासे.
And in the next asana, sorry for the technical glitch. The next asana is the feet together, the knees up, and then we bring the hands over the head and place the palms together behind the neck or behind the upper back, wherever your hands reach. Um, Perform the Jiva Chalaka Kumbhaka. Inhale the prana and use the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body, moving in both upward and downward directions. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose. Internally keep chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself as Varaha, the boar incarnation of Lord Vishnu, powerful and grounded. See your awareness rooting deep into the earth while rising with unstoppable force. Varahasana.
पगतली की माहिली कोरमिले पानी ऊकद वैसे एरिमुल ध्वरा नीचे रासे जंग छिद्र अंगुलचारी अंतर हाथ दौ कमद परि आनी मौर हथेली अंगुलिकाती लगावे.
And in the next asana, sit with the heels pressed together. Bend the knees deeply, lowering the hips until the buttocks rest near the knees. Keep the spine upright, the arms forward, the chest lifted. Gaze steady and keep the breath calm. Rise slowly. Oh, that is at the end of the asana. And when the middle and index finger hold the toe, closing it with the thumb in the prana mudra. Jivala Kumbhaka. Inhale prana and use the power of the mind, forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body, moving upward and downward. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and visualize your spine as a resilient bridge, arching gracefully with strength and flexibility in Prashistasana.
अत उत्तानासनानि निद्वय समिल्य स्थित्वा नितम्बं जानुप्रदेशे आनीय तिष्ठेत् पृष्ठासनं भवति.
And now in next asana, plant your arms under your shoulders, spread wide. Lean your weight forward, bend your elbows, and rest your knees on the upper arms. Engage your core, keep your gaze ahead, and breathe steady, spine long, shoulders stable, and keep your feet off the mat. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. The Jiva Kumbhaka. Inhale prana, use the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze downward, and visualize yourself as a crow, sharp-eyed, perceptive, and exponentially intelligent, solving challenges with strategy and cunning. Bakasana.
हस्ताभ्यां मवनिम् अवस्तम्भ जानुद्वयं नाभौ समिल्य जङ्गा उरूनि संस्थाप्य तिष्ठेत् बकासनं भवति.
And now in the next asana, this is an inverted posture where we keep the hands on the floor and get into Padmasana. You can first get into Padmasana and then place your body upright, or the other way around. Get first your body in an inverted posture and then bring your legs into Padmasana. You're making a strong base with your head on the floor and both hands on the floor. You can help each other if you are with two people, or you can always use the help of the wall to get into it. See where your ability is. I think, do you want to get into it like this or first? Or shall I do? Okay.
सुस्तांग कपाली आसना आसन काउगुन कपाल आचौ होई.
And in Padmasana, you stretch out your knees all the way up towards the ceiling. And then slowly come out of the Padmasana and place your feet back on the floor. And get ready for the next asana. Where we sit on our knees. With the hands on our thighs in Bindu Mudra. Place the thumbs and index finger together. Inhale the prana and use the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body, moving both upward and downward. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze at the tip of the nose. Internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself seated in the sacred seat, Paramashiva and your Guru, radiating presence within your inner space. Guptasana.
जानुर्वोरन्तरे पादौ कृत्वा पादौ च गोपयेत् पादोपरि च संस्थाप्य बुधं गुप्तासनं विदुः.
And come up to a standing position. Reach your leg all the way sideways. Keep it with your hand. Your both arms sideways spread out. And then start making rounds. Sahaja Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply through the nose. Hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze straight. And visualize yourself as a radiant star spinning with controlled brilliance. See yourself radiating power, stability, and dynamism while rotating gracefully. Dhruvasana.
एकेन हस्तेन दन्दरूपस्य एकस्य पादस्य अग्रं धृत्वा इतरपादतलं भूमौ निधाय त्वराय ब्रह्मणां कर्तव्यं दुर्वासनं भवति.
And Dhruvasana on the other side. Take your other leg up into your hand, stretch your arms out and make a round.
Dhruvasana. एकेन हस्तेन दन्दरूपस्य एकस्य पादस्य अग्रं धृत्वा इतरपादतलं भूमौ निधाय त्वराय ब्रह्मणां कर्तव्यं ध्रुवासनं भवति.
And now in a standing position, bring your foot all the way up. If you can, place it behind your neck. If you're not there all the way, then place your knee over your shoulder or hold your foot up. These are variations towards the full asana. And then wherever you are, if you can leave your arms alongside the body and then come up and downwards by bending through your knee of the standing leg. This is Trivikramasana.
एकेन पादेन स्थातव्यम् उतत्तव्यं तं दावासनं भवति ग्रीवायं पादं संस्थाप्य स्ततव्यम् उतत्तव्यं त्रिविक्रमासनं भवति.
And now we do Trivikramasana on the other side.
एकेन पादेन स्ततव्यम् उतात्तव्यं तं दवासनं भवति ग्रीवायं पादं संस्थाप्य स्थातव्यम् उतात्तव्यं त्रिविक्रमासनं भवति.
And the next asana is an inverted posture, Vrikshasana 2. Inhale deeply through the nose and hold the breath comfortably while breathing out through the nose again. You can here use the wall. If you have that such a strong core and you can do it in the middle of the space, then do so. Otherwise, you can use the wall and swing your legs up to come into a full handstand. So solely resting on your hands, having your whole body into an inverted position.
वृक्षासन 2 सप्तचक्रशालनाय वृक्षासन निवेशिकान् ज्ञानेन्द्रिय दाद्य कोनभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
And lower your legs down again. Get ready for the next posture, which is also an inverted posture. Standing on the hands with the Mula Bandha engaged, inhaling deeply through the nose and visualizing yourself as a mighty tree. In Vrikshasana 2.
वृक्षासन 2 सप्तचक्रशालनाय वृक्षासनाविशेषकान् ज्ञानेन्द्रियाय दद्य कोनभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
And let your legs come down again. Come into a plank position, resting on your hands and legs, toes tucked under, holding a strong core. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor in Mudra contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze up to the third eye and visualize Tejas, radiant life energy streaming into your third eye, igniting clarity and insight. In Shibu Asana.
This is Matsyasana 2. Nyubjam shayanam kurparo parshvabhaghayam murdvakritya hastatalabhyam bhumim avastambha varam varam udanam kuryat matsyasanam bhavati.
And now lower the belly, the body down onto the belly. Stretch out the arms alongside the body. Keep them on the mat. Stretch out the toes backwards. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Inhale deeply through the nose. Hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze straight and keep internally chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a serpent, supple, alert and responsive to every subtle shift around you. Sarpasana 2.
न्युब्जं शयनं कृत्वा हस्तौ नितम्बं संस्थाप्य पादौ दीर्घीकृत्य समील्यम् उरसा गत्वा सर्पासनं भवति.
And laying down on your belly, place your elbows in front of you on the mat and your head into your hands. Your elbows on the mat and rest your face in your palms. Your head up, leaning on your elbows. And your feet stretched out behind you. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze straight and internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself suspended in perfect balance, unsupported yet utterly stable, resting in your own awareness. In Nira Lambasana.
कराभ्यां पङ्कजं कृत्वा तिष्ठेत्कुत्परया सुधिः मुखं मुन्नमनुच्चैः निरलम्बासनं निरलम्बान योगी स्यात् निरलम्बानमासनं निरलम्बानता ध्यानं निरलम्बानासनम्.
And now we plant our hands firmly on the mat and bring the whole upper body up while the hips are resting on the mat. And then we bend the knees, pointing the toes towards the ceiling. You can arch your head back and bring your toes and head towards each other. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight. Visualize yourself as an unshakable pillar, fully supported from within, standing with complete independence. Chatrasana.
अर्ध्यासनवसित्वा हस्तलाभ्यां भूमिमवस्थभ्यम्नुयात् चत्रासनं भवति.
And now relax down, your hips on your heels, your hands all the way stretched out in front of you on the mat, the forehead on the mat. And completely rest the body in this position. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a protective umbrella, steadfast and expansive, sheltering your guru from the sun's rays. Vajrasana Trini.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासो यथा लघु सुखप्रसवलाभाय प्रोच्यते प्राक्तने पति दन्दा भरद्वाजा वीरवज्रसमानितो आसनानि सदा कुर्यात् सुदीर्घैरेचपूरकैः.
And bring yourself onto the hands and feet with the hips all the way up towards the ceiling. And in this posture, it is a dynamic posture. We keep the hands one by one off the floor and back. In this position, the Shambhavi Mudra, keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a strong and fearless ram, horns poised, radiating courage with determination. Meshasana.
Gajasana samstitau ekaikam bahum bhumau tadayet meshasanam bhavati.
And now the next asana is an inverted posture where we where we lean on the hands and elbows, and then bring the body up with the knees bent and the toes pointing towards the head. So this is an inverted posture as well as a back bend.
Ajasana. Gajasana samstitau पादद्वयम् अन्तराले कृत्वा मस्तकेन भूमिं स्पृशेत् अजासनं भवति.
And bring your legs slowly down again. For the next asana, this was Ajasana. And then we come sitting on the knees with the hands resting on the thighs. Keep your spine tall and your chest broad. Gaze softly at the tip of your nose and breathe evenly. Sit your hips between your heels. Perform the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. This is a new pranayama in this sequence. Slightly contract the throat and draw the breath slowly in through the nostrils, producing the sound of the ocean. Then retain the breath within, and after a moment, release slowly through the nostrils again, preserving the same soft sound. Keep the pelvic floor contracted, gaze at the tip of the nose, internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as Dhanvantari, the divine healer emerging from the cosmic ocean with the pot of Amrita, in Dantara Asana.
पूरबविधि पारि हाता की काकासी स्योपना सारा मोदी पगा की अंगुली अग्री मेदु लगावे पगत माहिली कौर धरती रासे येदी आगने रासे गोद धरती लग गई रासे हाथ गोद रासे रासे दृष्टिना स अग्र आसन कौगुन ये आसन सुगुदा भ्राण जाई.
Now keep your arms all the way in front of you stretched out. And then from the front, move them all the way backwards and interlace the fingers. Stretch them out parallel to the floor while keep sitting in between your heels. Keep your eyes open and steady, gaze outward while awareness rests deeply within. Continue making the sound of the ocean with your breath in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and visualize yourself with extended limbs, immense flexibility flowing through every joint and tendon. Anga Motama.
हस्तयोर अंगुली बद्वा हस्तयोर मध्यात् सर्वं अंगं निष्कासयित्वा तिष्ठेत् अंगमोक्षणं भवति.
Now rest your hands on your thighs again. Rest your hips firmly on your heels in this posture. Bring your palms gently to your knees, lift through your spine. Perform the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, make the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged in the pelvic floor contracted. Gaze at the tip of your nose, internally chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as Lord Garuda, majestic and swift wings unfurled, carrying divine presence with unwavering focus in Garudasana Chatvari.
जंगोरुभ्यां धरां पिद्या स्थिरकायुधिजानुकः जानुपरिकरद्वन्द्वं गरुडासनमुच्यते.
And sit with your hips in between your heels, your knees wide apart. Place your hands on your thighs. Lift through your spine and broaden your chest while keeping your gaze steady forward. Breathe calmly. In the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham while looking up to the third eye, and visualize yourself immersed in the blissful space of a temple, still and radiant, in Ananda Mandirasana.
अथ वक्षे वीरानाथ आनन्दमन्दिरासनम्.
And now, sitting in the same position, reach back with both hands to hold the soles of your feet. Keep your spine tall, your shoulders loose away from the ears, and your gaze soft downward along the nose. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. Then make the sound of the ocean with your breath in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Keep in this posture the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and keep the navel tucked in towards your spine in the Uddiyana Bandha. Gaze straight and continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a frog, alert and adaptable, sensing every ripple and vibration around you. In Mandukasana 2.
पृष्ठं सम्पीड्य गुल्पाभ्यां जन्मङ्ग्ने स्वलया कृतिः हस्तौ पादतले क्षिप्तौ मन्दुकं पाददोषहत्.
And now tuck your toes under, take your knees up off the ground, and place your hands in between on the ground. Spread the fingers wide, the thumbs touching, and the base of the hands touching your toes. Stick out your tongue and then exhale, visualizing yourself as Narasimha, fierce and protective, radiating unstoppable courage and divine energy. In Narasimhasana.
अत नरसिंह आसना दौपनापानि होया वैसे एदि मिलरे गुदा निविषयी समशरीरनिका तहराबै नास अग्र दृष्टि कोल्याभै.
And in the next asana, keep sitting with your toes tucked under and your hips seated back. Spread your knees outward, lift your arms up and pressing your palms together at your face. Tuck your chin towards your throat and focus your gaze towards the tip of the nose. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze at the tip of the nose. Keep internally chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as Devi, presiding over any and all of your fears, radiant and unwavering. See your awareness encompassing darkness with clarity and power in Bishrakasana.
दौपग की एदि जोई गोदापना वानपुनि होई गोदा जंग अदर करी राखे आदे वाह इसी विदे राखे द एदि ऊर्ध्व ही दरे मूलध्वराता उपरकारे पुनि अंजलि हाथ धाके तामे पुनि पोलोता किदाके.
And now place your hands in your armpits. Interlace your fingers. No, keep your hands at your armpits. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. Make the sound of the ocean with your breath in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Bring your knees onto the floor. Keep your toes tucked under. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze up at the third eye. And visualize yourself as a playful monkey, agile and curious, leaping through space with effortless grace. Makadasana.
दौपगतलि संपुत आने तिकनि पिष्टि भूमि परिताने मूलध्वर एध्याम परियावे Mudahata Hata Ucha Taharabe.
And in the next asana, we keep sitting with the knees on the floor and the toes tucked under. Reach the arms behind your back and clasping the opposite elbows firmly. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. Make the sound of the ocean with your breath in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted, gaze at the tip of the nose, and visualize yourself embodying diamond-like strength, resolute and radiant, unshakable by eternal pressures. Vajra Sangara Asana.
Pratama Pana Pani Hoya Vaise. Dau Edi Guda Nivesai. Goda Uba Rakes Tira. Ade Vaya Pasare Dhira.
And bring your hands next to your knees on the floor, lifting your chest tall. Keep your shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Continue making the sound of the ocean with your breath in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and tuck your abdomen inward toward your spine in the Uddiyana Bandha. Gaze at the tip of your nose. Internally continue chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself having perfect health, beyond any and all illness, radiant and vibrant. In Ganjanasana.
कञ्जनासनमावक्ष्ये यत्कृत्वा सुस्थिरो भवेत् पृष्ठे पादद्वयं बद्ध्वा हस्तौ भूमौ प्रदारयेत्.
And in the next asana, place your hands on your knees. Lengthen your spine, keep your chest tall. We perform the Kurma Mudra, withdrawing all the limbs like a tortoise. One should center the tortoise form. While continuing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath, keeping your pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze at the tip of your nose. Visualize yourself as a turtle, stable and grounded, the body and mind balanced across time. In Kurmasana.
गुल्पौ च वृषणास्त्याद्यो व्युत्क्रमेण समाहितौ जुकाय श्रोग्रीवं कुर्मा सनं मिरितितम्.
And the next asana keeps the knees on the floor and the toes tucked under. If that is challenging, then please take a moment to rest your toes and then get back into the asana with your hands on your knees. Keep your eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Continue making the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and gaze to the tip of the nose. Visualize yourself united with the divine, one with the entire cosmos, and reaching that space through oneness with your Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. See your awareness expanding infinitely in Yogasana.
गुदं नियम्य गुल्पाभ्यां युत्क्रमेण समाहितः.
Now sit kneeling with your ankles crossed behind you. Rest your hands on your calves and lengthen your spine. Or your arms are behind, resting on your calves. Keep your chest lifted and your shoulders soft and gaze steady toward your eyebrow center. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath. And visualize a space of Advaita, eternal oneness with your Guru, still and luminous. See your awareness dissolving dualities, merging with the infinite consciousness. In Viyogasana.
गोदां वानो उबै होई गोदा आद रके दोई दाची पद पादके पानी रहावे पानो वाम गोदा दिगियावे.
And now we come onto our knees and the upper body up. Let your feet rest flat on the mat. Then we're gonna bend backwards and take the feet in our hands, placing the hips forward. Continue making the sound of the ocean with your breath in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. And gaze straight, visualize yourself as a camel, enduring and resilient, traversing vast terrains with patience and persistence. In Ustrasana Dve.
मेरुदण्ड ग्रन्थि दार्ढ्यं सम्पिपादयिषु पुमान् कपोत उष्ट्रासन अभास्यं कुर्याद्मितहित आसनः.
And from this position, we lower the back down. Come laying down on your back with your knees bended. Hold on to your feet. Bring the crown of your head on the floor. Slightly contract the throat. Draw the breath slowly in through the nostrils, producing the sound of the ocean with your breath in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted. Visualize yourself as a lotus in full bloom, rooted in stillness yet effortlessly unfolding toward the light. Jati Asana.
जति आसन दौ एदि सम्पूतकारे सोले मूलध्वारितरि देरै पनां पानी उकद होय बासे बहुरी पिस्ति दिसि कारे जु आइसे.
And stretch out your arms all the way straight alongside the body. Ujjayi Kumbhaka, produce the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted. Visualize the healing and liberation of all subtle and causal forms of your body, radiant and free. In Viratasana.
जङ्गा पृष्ठे भूमौ निधाय जङ्गो धारयो उरुणि संस्थाप्य पृष्ठे वंशां वारं वारं स्पृशेत् विरतासनं भवति.
And in the next posture, bring your arms over your head and bend the elbows. Bring the hands back towards your feet. Yeah, bring the arms overhead and then towards your feet. So bending the elbows. Ujjayi Kumbhaka, make the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged in the pelvic floor contracted, gaze straight. Keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a beautiful pigeon, serene and graceful, wings unfolding with elegance. In Kapotasana.
मेरुदण्डग्रन्थि धार्ध्य सम्पिपादयिषु पुमान् कपोत्तोष्ट्रसनाभ्यासं कुर्यान्वितहितासनः.
And come up, seated on the knees with the feet stretched out and tucked under. Clasp the opposite arms and balance with the knees hip width apart. Make the sound of the ocean with the breath in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze straight and visualize yourself receiving the boon of your wish from Pradama Shiva, open and receptive. See your awareness aligned with divine will. Varasana.
जानुनि भूमौ संस्थाप्य हस्ताभ्यां बाहु परस्परं धृत्वा सरलं त्रिष्ठेत् वारासनं भवति.
And bend your hips towards your heels and your hands in Namaskara Mudra. Come bending all the way downwards with your forehead to the ground. Continuing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath, keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight. Internally keep chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a boar, fierce and determined, rooting through obstacles with precision and strength. In Varahasana Dve.
कुर्परो भूमौ स्थापयित्वा जानुभ्याम् अवनिम् अवस्तभ्य हस्तौ मस्तके संस्थाप्य पर्ष्णिनितम्बे संस्थाप्य तिष्ठेत् वरहासनं भवति.
The next asana is an inverted posture where you bring your elbow and hands onto the mat. You make a strong base, interlacing the fingers and then placing the head onto the hands.
Mundasana. सर्वासनं श्रेष्ठं हि ऊर्ध्वपादो यदाचरेत् तदैव महतिं सिद्धिं ददाति वायवी कला.
And let the feet come down again. And then we move to the next posture. Being seated on the knees, the toes tucked under, the hands at the ear, and bring your forehead towards the mat. Sahaja Kumbhaka, inhale deeply through the nose. Hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize yourself entering profound darkness, calm and alert, embracing the unseen with confidence. See your awareness thriving in absence, perceiving subtle energies and hidden truths. In Andanasana.
प्रथम पगतली समतहारावे घोरमाहुली उबे मिलावे पान पान उकडप कर वैसे दो एदि गुदा निवैसे.
And then lay down on your belly, stretch your feet all the way backwards and stretch your hands in Anjani Mudra in front of you. Maintain the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, producing the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted, gaze straight in front of you, and keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a locust, agile and resilient, leaping and adapting across diverse terrains. In Vipariti Shalabhasana.
शलभासनवेदश्च नटभेरुण्डनामके गण्डभेरुण्डसहिते शीर्षदण्डसनं तथा.
And now in the same posture, bring your hands towards your hips, lay them down on the mat. And lift with control your both legs upward together, keeping your core firm, your shoulders steady, and your breath calm. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight. Keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. In Kapalasana.
कपालं भूमौ निधाय ऊर्ध्वं पादो नयेत् कपालासनं भवति.
And in the next asana, we're gonna bring, it is a back bend. We're gonna bring our feet in front of our heads. The arms stretched out alongside the mat. Perform the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply through the nose and release through the nose again.
आकाशा कपोटासना. उष्टासने स्थित्वा चरणौ भूमि उत्थाप्य मस्तकोपरि नीत्वा पृष्ठप्रदेशेन भूमौ स्थापयेत् कपोटं भवति.
And lower your feet down onto the mat again. Bring the forehead onto the mat, the hands on the mat, the knees bent, sitting with the hips in between the knees. Keeping the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, gaze straight. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again. Visualize yourself as a sparrow, alert and shift, responsive to subtle movements around you. Chatakasana.
कुर् परपर्यन्तौ हस्तौ धराम् अवस्तम्भजानुनि नाभौ संकुच्य तिष्ठेत् चटकासनं भवति.
And the next asana is also an inverted posture, leaning down on the hands and elbows, bringing the feet onto the head and backward bend. See where your body is and bend towards it.
वृश्चिकासन द्वे वृश्चिकावत् पुचा प्रतिमां गृही पर्ष्णि धृत्वा श्वसिसे चिबुकं विदार्य यत्र इति सन्तिष्ठति सदा साधकस्त्वं विशावहं वृश्चिकासं ज्ञानमासनम्.
And come sitting on your knees again. Have one foot in front or under the perineum and the other foot next to your thigh. Your hands on your thighs. Broaden your chest. Curve your torso slightly. With inner focus and outer vision, free from blinking or opening the eyes. This is the Vaisnavi Mudra. And as a pranayama, we do the Chantaragakara Kumbhaka. Draw the breath in fully and strongly. Hold it lightly, then exhale slowly and inhale in one smooth, subtle cycle, feeling the gentle wave of energy inside. Keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight. Keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a bull, powerful, powerful and steadfast, radiating strength and grounded presence in Vrishasana.
यं यगुल्पे पादमूले वामभागे पदेतरं विपरीतं स्पृशेत् भूमिन् वृषणामिदं भवेत्.
And then from a kneeling position, place your hands flat on the ground beside your thighs. Lean forward and engage your core. Place your knees on your upper arms. Shift your weight forward and take your feet off the ground. Balancing with a strong core. Keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and visualize the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, radiating light that dissolves every shade of ignorance within and around you. In Lolasanam.
लोलासनं सदा कुर्यात् वायुलोलापघातनात् स्थिरवायुप्रसादेन स्थिरचेत भवेद्रुतम्.
And come sitting, then we do Vrishasana on the other side. One foot underneath the perineum and the other foot next to the hip. The hands resting on the thighs. Perform Vaisnavi Mudra with inner focus and outer vision, free from blinking and opening the eyes. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight. Keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a bull, calm yet potent, each swing harmonizing body and breath in Vrishasana.
याम्यगुल्पे पादमूले वामभागे पदेतरं विपरीतं स्पृशेत् भूमिं वृषासनमिदं भवेत्.
And now tuck one toe under and the other foot flat on the ground with the knee up. Bring the hands on the respective knee. So one knee is on the floor and one knee is up. With inner focus and outer vision, free from blinking and opening the eyes, we perform the Vaisnavi Mudra. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and draw the breath in fully and strongly. Hold it lightly and then exhale and inhale in one smooth, subtle cycle, feeling this gentle wave of energy inside. Gaze straight. Visualize yourself as Bala Gunjahai, radiant and with Siddha energy, wisdom, and mastery. See your awareness filled with spiritual insight and subtle power in Bala Guna Asana.
आसन कौगुन जल विकार जाई.
And squat with both feet flat and your knees wide. Slide your elbows down and between your thighs and wrap your hands firmly around your ankles. Keep your spine long, the chest broad, the shoulders open. Draw the breath in fully and strongly. Hold it lightly. Then exhale and inhale in a smooth, subtle cycle, feeling the gentle wave of energy inside. Pelvic floor contracted, gaze straight. Visualize yourself as the entire planet Earth, fast and sustaining, holding life with stability and abundance. Grahasanam.
पादतले भूमौ संस्थाप्य जानुमध्ये कुर्परौ स्थाप्य हस्ताभ्यां गुल्पप्रदेशं धृत्वा तिष्ठेत् ग्रहासनं भवति.
And then we do Bala Guna Asana on the other side. Bring the other knee onto the floor while the first knee is up. Bringing your hands on the respective knees. Draw the breath in fully and strongly. Hold it lightly. Then exhale and inhale in one smooth, subtle cycle. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze straight. And visualize yourself as Bala Gunahai, luminous and steady, embodying Siddha wisdom and effortless mastery. See your awareness radiating insight and spiritual courage in every direction in Balaguna Asana.
आसन कौगुन जल विकार जाई.
And now come a bit up on your toes and sit down as if you're sitting on a chair with your hands on your knees, holding strong thighs, keep performing the same pranayama, drawing the breath in fully and strongly, hold it lightly, and then exhale and inhale in one smooth, subtle cycle. Keeping the Mula Bandha engaged and the Uddiyana Bandha, the pelvic floor contracted and the stomach tucked in and up. Visualize yourself in chair pose, grounded and unwavering, energy rooted deep into the earth in Utkatasana.
युज्यस् पिजो स्थित्वा ऊर्वजानुयुक्तासने पादतलयोपरि स्निग्धाभ्यां मनाक् उत्तरकन्दरन्याम् अपृस्य पित्तं स्मृतिमुक्तताख्यम् अस्मिन् जलन्धरे सति वह्निदीपनं भवति इति सङ्केतः.
And now bring the soles of the feet together and squat your knees all the way down and wide. Clasp your elbows behind your back. Draw the breath in fully and strongly. Hold it lightly, then exhale and inhale in one smooth, subtle cycle. Keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight. Continue internally chanting the Mahavakya and visualize yourself as part of the indestructible spiritual community, unified and radiant, each member's presence and reinforcing the whole. In Vajra Sangha Asana.
प्रथम पना पानी होय जैसे दौ एदी गुदा निवेसे गुदा उब राखे तिर आदे वाय पसारी तिर.
And for all those online practicing with us, we love to hear from you in the comments. So underneath the live stream, post your questions, post your experience, how you are feeling during the Nithyananda yoga class. We love to hear your experiences. Now we continue with Anilasana, which is holding the feet onto the ground and your knees up, placing your hands underneath your feet. The heels are off the ground. Straighten your arms to lift your chest tall, spine long, gaze soft towards the nose. Keep your breath calm and your body steady. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted. And continue internally chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself living from air alone, serene and self-sufficient, absorbing fire, life force effortlessly from surroundings. In Anilasana.
दौ हाथ भूम परतानी कहुनी जाडी न बिलाग आने पना दौ आसे विधिकारे पिष्टि हतिल्या की परिधेरे आयसे रहे करा के पानी दरे नास मध्य आनी यसौ तपतमिते तान के केरी जैत राम प्रकट कहई तेरी.
And now come into a standing position, folding forward and placing your hands with the palms upwards underneath your feet as if they were padukas. And in this posture, walk around on your hands as if they are your padukas. Keep your hip straight. If you need to bend your knees, no problem. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, continue the Mahavakya internally and visualize yourself wearing padukas, walking across India with steady steps and unwavering purpose in Padukasana.
हस्ततलयो पादतले कृत्वा तिष्ठेत् गच्छेत् पादुकासनं भवति.
And the next asana is an inverted posture where we start standing with our palms planted firmly on the ground. And then bringing the legs into a curved position. Stretch them out, the feet.
कुकुटोदन हस्ततले भूमा कृत्वा पादतले च ऊर्ध्वं मुद्दानं कृत्वा भूमौ पतेत् इतं पुनः पुनः कुर्यात् कुकुटोधानं भवति.
And lower the body down. Then we go on to the next asana, which is also an inverted posture, where you place your hands on the mat and balance the whole body onto the hands. So you can use the wall as a support. If you're not having that strong core yet to hold it like that, then you can place your feet towards the wall or have help from a partner.
विपरीत तन्कृत्य आसना हस्ततलाभ्यां भूमिम् अवस्तभ्य ऊर्ध्वा पादग्रे कुर्वन् हस्ततलाभ्यां नर्तनं कर्तव्यं विपरीतं नृत्यं भवति.
Okay, and lower your legs down onto the mat again. Sorry for the technical glitch. Welcome back. We stand in a tall position for the next asana and then bend from the hips all the way forward. Place one hand on the mat and the other hand at the ear. Continue keeping the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. And inhale deeply through the nose. Hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose in the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight. Continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself as an elephant drinking water, steady and deliberate, every movement rooted in patience and strength. In Gunjarasana.
अथ वक्ष्ये महादेव कुञ्जरासनमुत्तमम् करैनैकेन पादभ्यां भूमौ तिष्ठेत्.
And Gunjarasana on the other side. Switch the position of the hands.
अथ वक्ष्ये महादेव कुञ्जरासनमुत्तमम् करैनैकपादभ्यां भूमौ तिष्ठेत्.
Now we go on to Kadamba Asana. Come sitting squatted and place the hands around the ankles, the knees up. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Sahaja Kumbhaka, inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again, keeping the pelvic floor contracted. The gaze straight, continue internally chanting the Mahavakya and visualize yourself as sacred Kadamba flower, golden and fragrant, blossoming with a round radiance upon the scheduled jewel island. Kadamba Asana.
पार्ष्णिभ्यां भूमिन् अवस्तभ्य हस्तध्यायेन गुल्पौ धृत्वा तिष्ठेत् कदम्बासनं भवति.
And come sitting on your sitting bones. Keep your feet close to the body, the knees up, and form your arms around or cross your arms around. Inhale deeply through the nose. Hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize all excess vata releasing, flowing gently and harmoniously through your system. See awareness settling into calm rhythm, restoring balance and ease. In Pavana Muktasana.
पवनमुक्तासन ध्वायस्तु पादयोः पनिं लग्ध्वा सस्यनितम्बके जानुनि वक्षसि साधुः ब्रह्मति करभद्रनैः.
And now sit with one leg lifted and placed behind the neck. Press both palms firmly on the floor beside your hips and extend your other leg upwards toward the sky. Keep your chest lifted, your spine long, and your breath steady as you balance with control. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose again. And there are different variations to this asana as per your body capacity. So if you can bring your foot all the way into your neck, if you're not reaching all that way yet, then bring your knee over your shoulder and place your hands on the mat and stretch your other leg all the way out. Visualize yourself embodying the serene balance of the partridge, harmonizing body, mind, and spirit in peaceful unity. Gaze up at the third eye and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham in Chakorasana.
पूर्वतानं चतुष्पादपीठं वज्रासनं तथा चकोरक्रौञ्च शलभाभुजङ्गनापि वृश्चिकम्.
And now extend your both legs. Then lift one leg up, grasp it your big toe, and draw it in towards your ear, while the other leg remains straight on the ground. Hold firmly, open your chest, and keep your spine long as you draw the lifted leg, like a hunter's bowstring. Keep your eyes open and steady gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. And inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again in the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, continually internally chanting the Mahavakya, and visualize yourself as Shiva's bow, coiled with immense tension yet perfectly balanced, radiating latent power. Dhanurasana 2.
पादङ्गुष्ठौ तु पाणिभ्यां गृहीत्वा श्रवणावधि धनुराकर्षणाकृस्तं धनुरासनमीरितम्.
And relax both legs down. Now sit with one leg draped over your shoulder. So bring the knee over your shoulder. And then your both hands on the mat. Then cross your feet and stretch out both legs to the side, balancing on your upper arm and your hands on the mat. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Inhale deeply through the nose in the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and visualize yourself as sage Ashtavakra, embodying fearless wisdom that transcends physical appearance. Ashtavakrasana.
वासिष्ठमतकौन्दिन्यं मूर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रं मतोत्थान मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
And for the next asana, sit tall with one leg up. Place your arm all the way underneath that leg while the foot is on the opposite thigh. Place your knee all the way down on the mat. Hold it with your hand. Inhale deeply through the nose. Hold the breath comfortably. And release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted. In the Mula Bandha, gaze up at the third eye. Continue internally chanting the Mahavakya. And visualize yourself as an immortal, sustained entirely by prana, untouched by decay or limitation in Pranasana.
एतत् प्राणासनं नाम सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायकं वायुमूले समारोप्य ध्यात्वा अकुञ्चयेत् प्रकाशयेत्.
Now sit with your left heel tucked under your hip and your right foot placed outside the left thigh. Wrap your right arm around the other side, around your back, and your left arm underneath your knee. Lift through your spine, twist your torso, find with a strong core your balance, and reach your hands behind your back. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. In the Shambhavi Mudra, inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, and gaze up at the third eye. Visualize the great sage Matsyendranath, the founder of Hatha Yoga, radiating wisdom and mastery within your inner space. Parshva Matsyendrasana.
अथ मत्स्येन्द्रासनं वामोरो मूलर्पिददक्षोपादो जन्वोर्बहिर्वेत्तिष्ठ दक्षोदोर्न प्रागृह्य तिष्ठेत् परिवर्तिताङ्गः. श्रीमत्स्यशनास्तोदितमासनं स्यात् पादभ्यां धारयते यस्तु पूर्णं मत्स्येन्द्रमुत्तमम्.
And come out of the twist. Then we're gonna do the asanas on the other side. So back to Chakorasana, bringing your foot behind your neck, or if you not reach there, bring your knee over your shoulder. Then place your hands on the mat and stretch your leg all the way out. Visualize yourself as a powerful source of energy, radiant and unbounded, emanating strength in every direction in Chakorasana.
पूर्वतानं चतुष्पादपीठं वज्रासनं तथा चकोरक्रौञ्चशलभ भुञ्जाङ्गीनापि वृश्चिकम्.
And relax your leg onto the mat. Now take both toes in Prana Mudra, the index finger and middle finger around your toes, and take one of the two towards your ear. Visualize yourself, and this has also different variations because you can hold also your extended leg on the shin if your toe is too far to reach, for example, and your other foot up next to your ear if you reach all the way, or towards that direction. See where you are with your body and practice it authentically. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, and gaze straight. Visualize yourself as Shiva's bow, coiled with immense tension yet perfectly balanced, radiating latent power. In Dhanurasana 2.
पादाङ्गुष्ठौ तु पाणिभ्यां गृहीत्वा श्रवणावदि धनुराकर्षकाकृस्तं धनुरासनमीरितम्.
And relax. Place one knee over your shoulder and place both hands on the mat. Then cross your ankles on top of each other and stretch out your legs sidewards, balancing all the way on your upper arm. Visualize yourself as Sage Ashtavakra, embodying fearless wisdom that transcends physical appearance in Ashtavakrasana.
वसिष्ठमतकौन्दिन्यं मूर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रामतोतान मायूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
And relax the body onto the mat again. Now we're going to do Pranasana on the other side. Bring one knee up, the foot on the opposite thigh, and then bring your arm all the way underneath your knee, holding your hand on the mat and your other hand pushing the knee down on the mat onto the mat. Don't overstretch, just do it gently. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. In the Shambhavi Mudra, perform the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and release through the nose again, keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze up at the third eye, and visualize yourself as immortal, sustained entirely by prana, untouched by decay or limitation. Pranasana.
एतत् प्राणासनं नाम सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायकं वायुमूले समारोप्य ध्यात्वा अकुञ्चयेत् प्रकाशयेत्.
Okay, and for the next asana, sit with your right heel tucked underneath your hip and your left foot placed outside your right thigh. Wrap your left arm around you, around the knee, and reach alongside the back, the hands together. Bring the upper body automatically in a sideward twist. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Perform the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose. Firmly contract the muscles of the pelvic floor, lifting upward without tension in the Mula Bandha. Gaze up at the third eye and visualize the great sage Machendranath, the founder of Hatha Yoga, radiating wisdom and mastery within your inner space in Parshva Machendrasana.
अथ मत्स्येन्द्रासनं वामुरोमुलर्पितदक्षपादो जह्नोर्बहिर्वेष्टितदक्षदोर्न प्रागृह्य तिष्ठेत् परिवर्तिताङ्गः श्रीमत्शनातोदितमासनं स्यात्.
And relax. Bring one leg extended and the other leg in front of your perineum with the knee on the ground. Now reach from the hips towards your foot with your both hands, bringing your nose towards your knee. Perform in this asana the Jivachala Kumbhaka. which means inhaling the prana and then using the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body, moving in upward and downward directions. Keeping all the three bandhas engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, the abdomen inward and up, and the chin towards the chest in the Mahamudra Bandha. Gaze straight, continue internally chanting the Mahavakya, and visualize yourself lengthening into the half Paschimottanasana stretch, spine extended like a flowing river in Ardha Paschimottanasana.
एकं पादं प्रसार्य एकं पादस्य पर्ष्णेन शिवानि सम्पीड्य हस्तद्वयेन प्रसरित पादङ्गुष्ठं धृत्वा जानुपरि मस्तकं न्यसेत् अर्धपश्चिमात्तनं भवति.
And come sitting on one foot. And then in that position, hold your balance and stretch your other foot all the way up towards the ceiling, holding it with both hands. If you need one hand on the floor to keep your balance, no problem. See where you're at. Perform the Jivachala Kumbhaka. Inhale the prana using the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body. Keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight and visualize yourself as a crane, graceful and alert, standing tall with poised balance. Kraunchasana.
उत्तनपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्तङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
And relax. Do the both asanas on the other side, starting with half Paschimottanasana, where we extend one leg and bring the other at the perineum, the foot at the perineum, the knee on the floor, and then reach forward with both hands to your feet. You bring your nose to your knee and keep all the three bandhas engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, the stomach in and up, and the chin to the chest in the Mahamudra Bandha. Visualize yourself lengthening into half Paschimottanasana stretch, spine extended like a flowing river in Ardha Paschimottanasana.
एकं पादं प्रसार्य एकं पादस्य पर्ष्णेन शिवानि सम्पीड्य हस्तद्वयेन प्रसारितपादङ्गुष्ठं धृत्वा जानुपरि मस्तकं न्यसेत् अर्धपश्चिमतानं भवति.
And then the other posture we do also on the other side. Okay. And then we do Karanchasana on the other side, placing the leg all the way up, holding it with both hands if you can, or place one hand on the mat if you need to get your balance, sitting on your other leg. Perform the Jivachala Kumbhaka, inhale prana, then using the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body, moving in upward and downward directions. Keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and visualize yourself as a crane, graceful and alert, standing tall with poised balance. Kraunchasana.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
And lower your leg down. Then sit with both soles tucked between the thighs and calves. Rest the palms on your knees. So your toes are in between the calves and the thighs. It's a little different than normal cross-legged position. Then bring your hands resting on your knees, your shoulders soft away from the ears, gaze forward. Perform the Jivachalaka Kumbhaka. Inhale the prana and use the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body, moving in upward and downward directions. Keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze at the tip of your nose, and visualize yourself radiating peace, prosperity, and well-being, your presence calming and uplifting all around you. Swastikasana.
जानोर्वोरन्तरे सम्यक् कृत्वा पादतले उभे ज्यूकाय समासिनः स्वस्तिकं तत् प्रचक्षते.
Now sit with both soles turned upwards and positioned between your, okay, sit with both soles turned upward. Reach your hands towards your feet. Keep your spine long, your breath soft. Perform the Jivachala Kumbhaka. Inhale prana and use the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and keep the chin towards the chest in the Jalandhara Bandha. Gaze at the tip of your nose and visualize yourself as Goraksha, the protector embodying the steady strength of mountains and ancient rivers in Gorakshasana.
कन्तसङ्कोचनं कृत्वा नासघ्रं वलोकयेत् गोरक्षासनमित्याहुर्योगिनं सिद्धिकारणम्.
And now place in a cross-legged position, one foot on the opposite thigh. Then bring your hands, one foot to the opposite thigh, and bring your hands up to your face. Bring your fingers to cover the sensory gates, the thumbs closing the ears, the index fingers the eyes, the middle fingers the nose, and then rest the ring finger on your upper lip and the little finger on your lower lip. Perform the Jivachala Kumbhaka. Inhale the prana and use the power of the mind to forcefully direct it through all the limbs of the body. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the third eye and visualize the radiant sacred space of creation in Bhagasana Dve.
यद्यपि दयजिनं ब्रूवि मनोलग्नं स्थिरं मनः एवं विदासनं प्रोक्तं सादो भगासनं परम्.
And bring your feet both onto the opposite thighs in Padmasana. And place the hands next to the legs on the floor with the palms pointing upwards. Curl the tongue inward within the mouth and then extend it slightly outward to form a small passage for inhalation. Inhale through the opening and retain the breath after drawing it in. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze at the tip of the nose, and visualize yourself dissolving into your Guru, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, uniting into his cosmic divine presence. In Yogasana Dve.
पूरकैर्वायुमाकृष्य नासग्रं वालोकयेत् योगासनं भवेद्देत योगिनं योगसाधने.
Now remain sitting in Padmasana. Place the palms downwards on the mat beside the hips. Lifting your body upwards so the hips and knees rise off the floor. Keep your spine upright, the chest broad, the core engaged, and your breath calm and steady. Continue the same kumbhaka with the inhaling through the tube of the tongue. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and visualize yourself as a rooster standing tall, proud, and fierce, announcing the dawn of spiritual awakening in Urdhva Kukutasana.
वसिष्ठ मातकौदिन्य मूर्ध्व कुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावाक्रमतो तान मायूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
And come down, stick your arms in between your calves and thighs now, and balance the body onto your hands. Continue breathing through the tube of your tongue. Visualize yourself adorned with celestial garland of light woven from the blessings of countless siddhas in Siddha Haratali Asana.
कुकुटासनस्थित्वा स्कन्दपर्यन्तम् ऊरुनि नीत्वा तिष्ठेत् हंसासनं भवति.
And now Hamshasana, where we do the same asana, similar posture in Padmasana with the arms through the legs, balancing the body onto the hands. Breathing through the tube of the tongue, keeping the Mula Bandha engaged and gaze through at the nose. Visualize yourself as a swan rising above Maya, gliding over the still waters of consciousness in Hamshasana.
कुकुटासनस्थित्वा स्कन्दपर्यन्तम् ऊरूनि नीत्वा तिष्ठेत् हंसासनं भवति.
And now we come in Padmasana onto the knees. Place our hands through the legs and interlace the fingers while the forehead is on the ground, stretching the interlaced fingers behind us. Continue inhaling to the tube of the tongue, keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and visualize yourself as Shiva's bow, radiant and unyielding, channeling immense energy with unwavering focus in Karmukasana.
प्रथम पदम आसन को करे गोदा समदि मही करी धारे तरपदुसरी कर दो आने कोन्या ऊपर समदिले ताने.
And come sitting. Keep your legs in Padmasana and the arms through the chins, the calves and thighs, and bend your arms. Place your hands in your neck. Continue inhaling through the tube of the tongue. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight. Visualize yourself as a turtle, deeply grounded and serene, body and mind harmonized for longevity. Kurmasana 2.
कूरमासन येह कहावे यासुम सब इंद्री सकुचावे देहि के राग सिद्धि होय यह कर्म की गति साधे कोई.
Now remain in the same posture, balancing with a strong core, gazing at the tip of the nose, and visualize yourself rejoicing in Shiva's secret knot posture, rooted and secure in Granti Bedasana.
अत वक्षे नीलकण्ठ ग्रन्थिभेदासनं शुभं ज्ञात्वा रुद्रो भवेत् क्षिप्रं Shukshmaya Vyuni Sevanat.
And now the same asana, but laying down on the back. So relax your body first. Come onto the back. And then place the hands again through the legs and bend them into your neck. Holding your neck with your hands. The pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze at the tip of the nose. Visualize yourself as an upward rising turtle, lifting from the waters with poise and balance. Uttana Kurmasana.
Kukutasana bandastam karabhyam dirtakandaram Pitam kurma vaduttanam etaduttana kurmakam.
And in the next posture, come back sitting in Padmasana. Now we're placing the hands again in between the legs and holding one wrist. So we balance the whole body onto one arm now. Continuing inhaling through the tube of the tongue, visualizing yourself as a rooster, vigilant and commanding, sensing every nuance of your surroundings in Pancha Kukutasana.
कुकुटासने स्थित्वा एकेन हस्तेन अन्यस्य मन्निबन्धं धृत्वा हस्ततलेन भूमिं विस्तभ्य तिष्ठेत् पङ्गुकुकुटं भवति.
And the same asana on the other side. So switch the position of the hands and take your other wrist into your hands. Pancha Kukutasana.
कुकुटासने स्थित्वा एकेन हस्तेन अन्यस्य मणिबन्धं धृत्वा हस्ततलेन भूमिं विस्तभ्य तिष्ठेत् पङ्गुकुकुटं भवति.
And sit in Padmasana. Rest your elbows onto your legs. Keep your palms, your head in your palms. Continue the Kakanchuka Kumbhaka, inhaling through the tube of your tongue, keeping the Mula Bandha engaged, the gaze at the straight in front of you, and keep internally chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, in Gridarasana.
धृत्वा स्थिरमना भूत्वा कृदासनमिदं परं सर्वदोषक्षयकारं सर्वोपद्रवनाशनम्.
And remain seated in Padmasana. Place your hands in your laps. The one hand above the other and the thumbs together, pointing upwards. Continue inhaling through the tube of the tongue. Keep all the three bandhas engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, the stomach tucked in and upwards, and the chin towards the chest. Gaze at the nose. Visualize yourself seated in Padmasana, embodying the sacred lotus, the symbol of purity, spiritual awakening, and detachment in Hindu philosophy. Padmasana Trini.
न साग्रे दृशम् एवेश्य चिबुकं चोतल्यो वक्षस्थलं मूलं मूलं साधुर् असिन् अमृतकलयेत् स्वयं राजदन्तस्य तत्.
And being seated in Padmasana, rest your hands on your knees. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. Continue breathing in through the tube of the tongue. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose. Keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself in Padmasana, the lotus throne of yogic power, rooted in the earth yet reaching heavenwards. Envision your mind and body harmonized, embodying the balance and dharmic purity that the lotus presents in Hinduism. Padmasana Chatvari.
एतत् पद्मासनं कुर्यात् प्राणावायु प्रसीदये शुभासनं सदा ध्याये पूरयित्वा पुनः पुनः.
And with that, we come to the last asana from today. Come laying down on your back, stretch your legs and your arms alongside the body. Come to a complete still position. Let the whole body come to a still. Let the mind come still too. Internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. In Shavasana.
अथ शवासनम् उत्तमं शाववद्भूमौ शायनं तु शवासनम्.
And move your toes again and your fingers, rotating your wrist and ankles. Bring one by one your knees to the chest. Hug your arms around and roll over the spine from side to side, massaging your back. And come onto a seated position. Give yourself a round of applause for, again, completing a sequence from 100 asanas. You're very much welcome to join back tomorrow to continue with the next sequence of 100 asanas. Like that, we do each day 100 asanas, and over the course of 10 days, we finish 1008 asanas altogether. If you like to ask us something or let know your feedback of the class, where you are at currently, maybe breakthroughs you had of new postures you could do for the first time, or other experiences, feel free to put that in the comments underneath the live stream to let us know. And we want to also invite you for the satsang later today around 5:30 Eastern Africa time. You can log in for darshan with Swamiji and powerful cognitions initiations, so don't miss your daily bliss dose. We also have a program running for 30 days. You can start the last day of August coming, and then the whole month of September, the program will be running and you will be experiencing deep transformation. There is yoga every day, not only yoga on the mat, but you get also introduced to other forms of yoga. There is meditation classes, there is daily darshan of Swamiji. Everything is guided by him only. You get a lot of new knowledge and you will be guiding to so many exercises to get to know yourself at a deeper level and have big transformation for what you want to manifest into your life. So if that sounds good to you, then get in touch with us in the comments to know more about this program or sign up directly for Paramashiva Sena. With that, let's end today's class placing your hands in Anjani Mudra in front of the heart and take a deep breath to chant the Purna Mantra together. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. And let's take a moment to bow down to Swamiji in deep gratitude. And take this gratitude along into your day. Have a wonderful one and see you back tomorrow for Nithyananda Yoga. Nithyanandam.